Right, guys, Newcastle have just beaten Southampton 2-1 at St Mary's and are only the third team to actually win a Premier League game at St Mary's Stadium this season. The first one being Southampton, second one being Wolves, and the third one being, well, now Newcastle. That means not even Man City could get a win at St Mary's. Liverpool haven't played there yet. Don't think Chelsea have played there yet either. United couldn't win there. So, Southampton are a team that are really strong at home and are a good side at the minute. I know they got a bit of a battering at the weekend at Villa, but prior to that, they had played really, really well. I think they'd scored in every game since like November or something. Ridiculous, which I mean is really good going. And they were good tonight, Southampton. They weren't incredible, but they were good enough to get something out of the game, I thought. But then again, Newcastle were also very good. I thought, because I didn't watch the game Villa v Southampton at the weekend, I thought, having seen that result, that Southampton, it'd be a bit like, oh no, here we go. Because Southampton are one of those teams, it feels like anyway. I'm not an expert on Southampton. I support Liverpool. I know enough about Southampton, but I'm not an expert. But Southampton feels to me very much like a team where they have a run where it's going really well and then a run where it goes badly. It's never really a mix of form. And I thought after the battering at the weekend, Southampton might, where they go on a run and people start questioning, is Hasenhüttl taking them in the right direction? That question comes up at least once a season, doesn't it? And then 6 months later, he's a footballing genius. He's up there with Klopp and Guardiola. Now, I think Hasenhüttl's doing a really good job at Southampton, and even if they lose 60% of the games remaining this season, there should be no question about who should be Southampton's manager next season, because he has built a really strong side, a side that's not going to be threatened by relegation, I don't think, like next season or in the upcoming future. Because the squad he inherited there, it had some good players like James Ward-Prowse, Oriol Romeu, who else? Jan Bednarek, Fraser Forster, and a few others as well. And he's added a lot of players to it and made it a very good starting 11, like picking out Tino Livramento. Kyle Walker-Peters from Tottenham was a brilliant transfer. Mohamed Salisu, who had heard of him before he joined Southampton last season. Granted, he didn't have the best start to his Southampton career last year, but this season he's been really good for them. But yeah, it's not a good result, but they didn't play badly, Southampton. On to Newcastle, though. I mean, brilliant result, considering that they did go 1-0 down after about 25 minutes. It is really quite tough to come back from behind against Southampton, because they are a good side. And Newcastle at the moment are on fire. Like if we made a Premier League table on forms, it's like the middle of January, so they've got to be near the top somewhere. I think Liverpool and City would obviously be right at the very top. But I think Newcastle would be in at least Europa League places, if not Champions League, because they have been really good of late. Anyway, on to the goals. The first one, brilliant cross by Kyle Walker-Peters, got headed back across goal. Stuart Armstrong, bit of a tame header, but it got a lucky deflection off Dan Burn, and Dubravka had no chance. Newcastle then responded a few minutes later with Chris Wood header. Really good cross by, I think it was John Joe Shelby who crossed it in, and Chris Wood, he Shelvey, if it was Shelvey, literally laid it on a plate for him. Chris Wood just had to direct it into the back of the net, which wasn't too hard a task. And then in the second half, I mean, what a goal by Bruno. I'm going to try and get this right. Bruno Guimaraes, I think that's how they were saying it. Yeah, because Arsenal centre back is Gabriel Magalhaes, isn't it? So Guimaraes. It was a brilliant flick. And yeah, what a way to score your first Newcastle goal. On your first start for Newcastle as well. Like, he's not a renowned goal scorer from what I've heard of in France. So it came as a bit of a shock. But yeah, what a goal it was. And yeah, Newcastle, they rate their luck at times. Dubravka had to make some brilliant saves, and I think on another night and with another goalkeeper in goal, Newcastle don't win this game. Dubravka had a really good game. So did Dan Burn. He made some vital tackles. Matt Targett had a good return to the south as well. Yeah, good performance from Newcastle. What I was really impressed with from Newcastle, though, as well, was the players like Jacob Murphy, Ryan Fraser, Joe Willock, their sort of desire to win the ball back or get back and help defend, which when Ryan Fraser was at Bournemouth, it didn't really feel that way, that he had this, like, I don't know, passion for the team, like wanting to win so much. It probably got something to do with the fact that he spent the last year at Bournemouth not wanting to play for them. Really, did he? I think he left Bournemouth on a bit of a sour note. And I can understand why from a Bournemouth fans' point of view, because if you play a Downs Tools, Downs Tools, that's the saying, isn't it? Yeah. When you're in trouble, then it's not like you shouldn't have any respect for him, I don't think. Similar to how Newcastle fans feel about Michael Owen, isn't it? Just a bit of a prick move from Fraser at Bournemouth and Michael Owen at Newcastle. But he seems to have changed. He really seems really committed to Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle got the win. I mean, that they should be safe now. They're not going to get a European place. They're going to probably finish mid-table. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be quite good for a Newcastle fan from now until the end of the season, because it is sort of like time for Eddie Howe to experiment with the team, because he can sort of allow himself to, because there's no horrendous risk and there's nothing to really lose. Like, they're never going to get a European spot. So yeah, perfect position for now till the end of the season, I think, just for enjoying football for the Geordies. And yeah, for Southampton, again, they're not really going to get a European spot. They're mid-table, but they're played some really good football recently, and just got to try and keep that up, haven't they? And try and build on what they've got in the summer. So it is two teams who are in sort of a positive moment right at the moment, Southampton and Newcastle. And yeah, it was a good game to watch. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.